Hello friends, welcome to this platform where we are offering lessons in mathematics. Alright? Okay, so in this lesson, or video presentation, we want to deal with the ECZ past paper, that is the November 2018 mathematics paper 2. Alright? So please, if you are watching us for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. You need to know that as you are dealing with paper 2, you need a calculator. Alright? You need a calculator. Okay, so let's look at the first question. Okay, first question. Okay, so you can copy this question. That is question 1, copy it, A and B. Alright, copy it. Pause the video, copy. Pause the video, copy the question. Okay, pause the video, copy the question. Right. Okay, so let's solve question 1. So, number 1, given that matrix A is equal to 4, -5, 1, 2, and B is equal to 8, 3, Y, 5, alright? Then Roman numeral 1, we are saying find the value of y for which the determinants of A and B are equal. Meaning that determinant for A, so we are saying determinant for A is equal to the determinant for B. Alright? That's what we are saying. So how do we find the y? We must find the determinant for A and equate it to this one. So how do we find the determinant? We multiply the elements in the major diagonal. That is 4 times 2 minus 1 by -5. This should be equal to the determinant for this one. So how do we do that? We write an expression for the determinant. We say 8 by 5 minus 3 by y. Okay. So what does this mean? 4 by 2 we have 8 minus 1 by -5 is -5. -5 by negative will be +5. Alright? Is equal to 5 by 8 is 40 minus 3 by y is 3y. Alright? If you want, you can rewrite and say 40 minus 3y is equal to this plus that, you get your 18. Alright? So we say this is equal to, we can group the right terms. Okay. Maybe we can erase this. Alright. The equal sign, because that might be misleading because we already have another equal sign. Okay, so we say we take this one the other side, so negative 3y is equal to 13 minus 40. So you don't need to worry here, you use a calculator. Alright? What do you get? You get negative 27. This minus that, you get negative 27. I hope that is okay. Then our interest is to find y. We'll divide by negative 3 both sides of the equation. Alright? Negative 3 and negative 3 will divide. Then we get our y to be negative and negative will divide. You have positive 3 in 27, you have got 9. Which means here where there is that, there is 9. Okay? We go to B. What is B? After Roman numeral 2. Hence find the inverse of B. So how do we get the inverse of B? Alright? We know that B inverse, or the inverse of B, is given as 1 over the determinant of B times the adjoint of B. Alright? Good. So now we are going to say the inverse of B, or B inverse, is equal to 1 over, what is the determinant of B? Look, here, when we were trying to find the value of y, we said the determinant of A is equal to the determinant of B. And this side we got 13. 8 plus 3 is 13. That is the determinant. So this determinant means that the determinant of B is also 13. So we are going to say over 13, right? Open the bracket, you are multiplying here. What is our adjoint? Look, you need to note that B here is 8, 3, y is 9, and here it is what? 5. That is our B. So to get the adjoint, you are going to say, let me swap the elements in the major diagonal, alright? So here I'm going to have 5, and here we'll put our 8. But this side we multiply by negative, so I've got negative 3 and negative what? 9. This is our inverse. I hope that is okay. That is our inverse. Right? Then we go to, this was A. We go to B. B. A small bag contains 6 black and 9 green pens. So black, there are 6, and green, there are 9. Alright? So when you add here, total number of pens is 15. Okay, that's what we have. Alright? So now, we are saying 2 pens are taken at random, one after another, from the bag without replacement. So you pick one, alright, maybe throw it away, then go and pick another one. So you have 2 pickings. Calculate the probability that both pens are black, right? Meaning that black. So if you want, you can go straight, or alternatively, okay, sorry for that. Alternatively, you can say, maybe let me try to draw a tree diagram, right? Now, because you have got black and green, you have a diagram that has 2 branches or arms. You have got this one here. So here you can say black, here you have green, alright? Because you pick for the first time and you go and pick for the second time, so you produce another one here on each. On each you produce 2. So this is black, this is green. Black and this is green. There are times where they'll ask you to draw the tree diagram. In this case, we've not been asked. Now, if I'm picking, this is the first picking and this is the second picking. If I'm picking for the first time, what's the probability that I'll pick a black pen? The question is, how many black pens do I have? 6 out of the possible 15. Alright? What's the probability that you're going to pick a green pen? How many green pens do we have? 9 out of the possible 15. Now, if you pick one and don't replace, it means the number of pens will have reduced from 15 to 14. This means that the total here throughout should be 14. Alright? Be 14 to be 14. Now, we don't know the kind of a pen or the color of pen that was picked, so we begin to assume or make assumptions. What if it was black? Then as you go for the second picking, the number of black pens will reduce from 6 to 5. Right? If you have made an assumption on black, then green here, which is this one, will be maintained, which is 9. Alright? Then from here, you come and make an assumption on the green. You say, what if here we picked a green one? Then in the second picking, the number of green pens will reduce by 1, from 9 to 8. If you are making an assumption on the green, we retain the total number of black pens, which is 6. So this is the kind of arrangement that we have. Alright? Now, Roman numeral 1. find the probability. Calculate the probability that both pens are black. Meaning that black in the first picking and black in the second picking. Alright? Black here and the black there. So what is the answer? We are going to say this is 6 over 15 by black here it is 5. 5 over 14, right? What do you get here? Here you are going to get 6 by 5, you get your 30, right? Then here when you multiply, you get about 210. Okay, that's what you get. You get 210, alright? You can say these zeros can cancel. So what does it mean? You are going to say 3 into 3 is 1, 3 there it is 7. So the probability is 1 over 7. So that's the probability that you get both the pens that are green in color. Okay, we can go to the next question. Number 2. Calculate the probability that both pens are of different colors. Different colors means you're going to get probability of black and green, alright? Then probability of green and the black, alright? So this is probability of black and green, or probability of green and the black. So what does it mean? We add these probabilities. These are independent events, but when you look at this one and that one, they become mutually exclusive, alright? So what's the probability of black here? 6 over 15. 6 over 15 times. What's the probability of green? 9 over 9 over 14. Right? Then you come here, we say plus. What's the probability of green in the first picking? 9 over 15 by, what's the probability of black? You have got 6. 6 over 14. That is the kind of an alignment that you are supposed to have. Is it okay? I hope that is fine. Then we multiply. You can use a calculator because we are saying this is paper 2. Right? So you need to use the calculator, you don't need to worry. So you know that 6 by 9 is 54. You can do it yourself. Say 6 by 9. Alright? So you have got 54 here. 54 over 15 by 14 is 210. Plus. Again here, it is 54 over 210. So when you add here, 54 plus 54, you get 108. Alright? So you have got 108 divided by what? 210. Alright, now you can reduce that using calculator, or you find a number and divide it into both. Alright, maybe let me show you. You can say we want 108. So I'll say 108. Then I'll come here. This. Alright? I hope you are seeing it. A slash B. We punch there and say 210. What is the answer? You have 18 slash 35. That is our answer. Meaning that your answer here is 18. So the probability here, I'll just write it here, is 18 divided by 35. This is the probability there. Okay? That is the probability there. And we've answered that question. I hope that is okay. So sometimes, even when the tree diagram has not been asked to be drawn, you can draw it, it helps you. But if you are okay, you can just go straight. Okay? So we go to the second question. Okay, so you can copy question 2. Pause the video, copy it. Even copy question 3 in advance. Copy question 3. Alright? Copy question 3. So we'll do 2 and 3. Copy. Okay. Copy the video. Pause the video and copy. All right. Okay, so let's look at question 2. Question 2a. Right? The question reads, solve the equation 3x squared minus x minus 5. The answer is 0. Giving your answers correct to 2 decimal places, and you have 5 marks. So, in order for us to solve this is a quadratic equation. So we are going to say we apply the formula, which is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Then we divide everything by 2 times a. Okay? Now, this formula is always given here on the first page. So now, for you to be able to use this formula nicely, you need to identify these constants. What is a? A is the coefficient of a variable that has power 2. Alright? In this case, it is 3. What is our b? Alright? Our b will go to this x and get the coefficient, which is negative 1. And our c is the negative 5. Then we substitute. Alright? So we're going to say x is equal to negative b, which is in this case b is negative 1. Alright? So negative is positive. So just allow me to write positive here. Okay? Let's just write positive in advance, because this negative and that one, so we have positive 1 plus or minus the square root of, what is our b? Negative 1 squared minus 4, what is our a? It is 3. And what is our c? It's negative 5. Alright? We divide everything by 2 times a. What is our a? It is 3. We're going to say xc is equal to, so at this stage you can make use of your calculator. Alright? You're going to say, you work out what is in the brackets. Say, you have 1 plus or minus the square root of, when you punch everything the way it is, you're going to get 61. Okay? You're going to get 61. You can punch whatever is there, and you're going to get 61. Alright? So, then we say we divide everything by what? This by that, you get your 6. Okay? I hope that is fine. You get 6. Then you move and say xc is equal to, you pick 1, you say 1 plus the square root of 61. Say square root of 61. Alright? Okay, take note, our calculator has to be in degrees mode. It's very important. Okay. Alright, my calculator was in the radians, so I had to change. Alright, so we'll say 1 plus the square root of 61. Alright, we get about 8 point something. Directly I can divide it by 6. So I've got 1.4683 74946. So we can round off these to 2 decimal places. 1, 2, you cut here and consider this one as the 1. 1 plus 6, 7. So we've got 1.47 as the first value. Or xc is equal to, we say 1 minus the square root of 61. 1 minus the square root of 61 divided by 6. You have got negative 1.135041613. Alright? Again, I round off these to 2 decimal places. I'll say 1, 2, We'll cut this one and consider 5 as 1. 1 plus 3, 4. So negative 1.14. And that is our answer. Okay? That is our answer. Now we go to B. B here. So the question is, at San Benedictine College, 20 students study at least one of the 3 subjects. So it's like we have 20 students in total. That is mathematics, chemistry, and physics. All those who study chemistry also study mathematics. So chemistry is inside mathematics. Alright? 3 students study all the 3 subjects. 4 students study mathematics only. Then 8 students study chemistry and 14 students study mathematics. Roman numeral 1. We are supposed to draw a Venn diagram to illustrate this information. So what we know is you have mathematics there, but all those that study chemistry also study physics. So here we can have mathematics, right? Then there are those students that do all the 3. It means there's an intersection of the 3. All right? We can say, okay, let us have physics here. All right? Let us have physics. But all those that do chemistry also study mathematics. It means chemistry is inside mathematics. So you come and put your set here for chemistry. All right? And say this is the C for chemistry. Okay? Then you go to this region that belongs to all the 3. How many study all the 3 subjects? There are 3 students. So I'll come and write the 3. Okay? Then 4 students study mathematics only. Only mathematics means it should be outside here. Okay? 8 students study chemistry, right? Means that we are saying 8 students study chemistry. In this set, the total number should be 8. But you already have 3. So say 8 minus 3, you have 5. 5 should be here. So when you add 5 to 3, you get 8. Okay? And 14 students study mathematics. Okay. 14 students study what? Mathematics. So what are they saying? Simply means that when you add everything in here, you must get 14. Alright? Now, 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. But our interest is to get the total, which is what? 14. So you're going to say 14 minus 12. What do we get? 2. So the 2 will be here. Alright? The 2 will be there. Okay. Then, we need to look at this number here, or all these numbers, and the total number of students. You can even put the Venn diagram here. You say E. We have 20 students, all right, in total. But now we are saying mathematics is 14. So when you add up all these, 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 plus 2, you have 14. Alright? And the total here should be 20. So what are you going to do? You're going to say the total 20 minus 14. It means the 6 should be here. Alright? And that is your what? That is your set. Okay? That is your set. That is your set. Roman numeral 2. How many students study physics only? Physics only, you can see that. Just physics, there are 6. So this is 6. That is A. Alright? B. How many students study 2 subjects only? Alright? 2 subjects only. That is mathematics, physics only, maybe chemistry, physics only, physics and mathematics only. When you look at 5, 5 represents the number of students that study chemistry and mathematics only. When you look at 2, 2 represents the number of students that study physics and mathematics only. In this case, so for the number of students that study 2 subjects only is 5 plus 2, and we get what? 7. 7 is our answer. Alright? 7 is our answer. Then C. How many students study mathematics and physics? And, so it's an intersection. Alright? So you're looking at maths and physics. This region where there is 3 and 2. But not chemistry, so you get rid of chemistry. What are you going to remain with? 2. So 2 is your answer. Alright? It means this part has been done. Okay. Then we go to question 3. Okay, let's deal with question 3. A. Alright? Evaluate. -1, you get the integral of 2 plus x minus x squared. You integrate this with respect to x. Alright? So if you want, you can say this is the same as the integral from -1 to 2 of 2x to the power 0, right? Because 2x to the power 0, x to the power 0 is 1. 1 by 2 you get 2 plus x to the power 1 minus x to the power 2. We are integrating everything with respect to what? X. Okay? Integrating everything with respect to x. Now, we are going to say, to integrate that, we'll say 2x. Here it is power 0. 0 plus 1, it will be 1 over 1. Or we just maintain like that. Plus x. Here there is 1. 1 plus 1, you have got 2 over 2. Alright? That's what we have here. Because there is 1 here, you add 1 here to be 2, you divide by the same, the power. Minus x to the power 3 over 3. As we are integrating from x is -1 to x is equal to what? 2. Alright? Then we are going to say this is equal to, we do some substitution. We say upper limit minus lower limit. So what are we saying? We are saying here when there is x throughout, we put 2. Alright? So we're going to say 2 open bracket. Here I put 2 plus. Here I put 2 to the power 2 over 2 minus. Here I put 2 to the power what? 3. Okay? Over 3. Everything minus the same expression, but we put -1. So I'll say 2, open bracket -1, plus. While there's x here, you say -1 to the power 2 over 2, minus. While there's x again, we put -1. So -1 to the power 3 over 3. Then you close. Okay? Then you're going to say, this is equal to, if you want, you can work out this with a calculator, there's no problem. This by that you have got 4, right? Plus 2 to the power 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2, you have got 2 here, alright? Plus, okay, here it's minus, take note. 2 to the power 3, it is 8 over 3. Minus, we say open the bracket. Okay. 2 by -1, it is -2. Right? Plus, -1 squared is 1. So I have 1 over 2. Okay? Here there is minus here. Now, -1 to the power 3 is -1. Negative by negative it will be positive. 1 over 3. Okay? So what are we saying? Here, you have 4 plus 2 is 6. So we are dealing with 6 minus 8 over 3 over 1. This part, work it out. What do we get? This is 3, okay? This is 3 by 6 of 18 minus 1 by 8 of 8. What do we get? 18 minus 8, you have got 10 over 3. So here you have got 10 over 3. Alright. Minus. Okay. Minus, we work out this one. We work out what is in the brackets. Okay. Okay, so we can work out that one. So what are we trying to work out? We work out negative 2 plus 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3 over 1. Alright? So here we get the denominator, which is 6, by multiplying them. Alright? 1 into 6 is 6. By negative 2, you have negative 12 plus 2 into 6, 3. By 1, 3 plus 3 into 6, 2. By 1, 2. Okay? So what are you getting? Negative 12 plus 2 plus 3 is negative 9. So you have negative 9 plus 2, you have negative 7 over 6. This is what you are supposed to have. So we have negative 7 over 6. Okay. What does this mean? You have got 10 over 3. Negative by negative will be positive. So you have got plus 7 over 6. Okay? Then you get your denominator. Okay? So here we can erase this and work out that. Okay? So our denominator there, a common denominator will be 6. Alright? Then 3 into 6, that will be 2. 2 by 10 will be 20. Plus 6 into 6, you have 1. 1 by 7, you have got 7. Okay? So what do you get? You have got 27 over what? 6. Alright? 27 over 6. Okay, so here 6 into 27, you have got 4. Okay? Remainder 3 over 2. This is the same as 4. 3 into 3 is 1 over 2 as your answer. So our answer here is 4, 1 over 2. If you don't mind, at this stage, you can even use your calculator to simplify. Okay, so that is how we are going to get A. So let's go to B. Okay, so let's look at part B. Find the equation of the normal to the curve. Y, this is B. Y is equal to x plus 4 over x, where x is 4, right? Now, for you to find the equation of the normal, the first thing that you need to do, find where you are given only one value of x, find the other value in advance of y, right? So I'm going to say y is equal to my x is 4. 4 plus, okay. Okay, so we say 4 divided by our x is 4. Okay. So we are saying y is equal to 4 plus 4 into 4 is 1. So our y is 5. Now, we want to find the equation of the normal. Now, one thing that we need to know is the normal and the tangent are perpendicular. The gradient that comes from the curve, that is the gradient of the tangent. Alright? So for us to find the equation of the normal, we need to find the equation of the gradient as well as the gradient of the tangent as well as the gradient of the normal. Okay, so the starting point is, let's get the gradient of this. So say, now you can rewrite this first as y is equal to x plus 4x to the power negative 1. Then differentiate this. So when we differentiate this, we say dy dx is equal to, when we differentiate this one, we get 1. Alright? Because this is 1, we say 1 times 1 minus 1, so it will be x to the power 0. Minus, this by that will be 4. X to the power negative 2, you say minus 1. Alright? Now, we want to find the gradient at the point x is 4. So I'll say 1 minus 4. Open the bracket, my x is 4. Alright? To the power negative what? 2. Then here you don't need to worry, you can get your calculator. Okay? Just the way it is, you say 1 minus 4, open the bracket, 4 to the power, is it the power negative 2? Okay, it's the power negative 2. Alright, what do we get? We get dy dx to be 3 over 4. But now, we want to find the gradient of the normal. So we are going to say the gradient of the normal times the gradient of the tangent. The answer should be negative 1. Okay? So say the gradient of the tangent, which is 3 over 4 times m2, the answer is negative 1. Okay? So now, how do you get this one? You multiply both sides by the reciprocal of this one. So you're going to say 4 over 3 times, okay, times 3 over 4 times m2 is equal to negative 1 times 4 over 3. So this one and this one will cancel, this and that will cancel, remain with m2. So m2 is equal to negative 4 over 3. So now we have the gradient. How do we get the equation of the normal? We are going to say y minus y1, m, the gradient x minus x1. Alright? In this case, we say y minus. What is our y now? Our y is this value that we got here, which is 5. We have got 5 is equal to, our gradient is negative 4 over 3. Open the bracket, x minus, what is our x is 4. Okay, so you multiply 3 this side. So you have got 3, open the bracket, y minus 5 is equal to negative 4, x minus 4. Alright? When you multiply here, you've got 3y minus 15 is equal to negative 4x plus 16. I hope that is okay. This is 15. So we have got 3y is equal to negative 4x plus 16. This is negative, it becomes positive here. Alright? And what we get? We are going to get 3y is equal to negative 4x plus 16 plus 15, you get 81. And that is the equation of the normal. Okay, so that's where we end for question 3. We go to question 4 now. Right? Okay, let's look at question 4. We are saying answer the whole of this question on a sheet of plain paper. Right? 4a, Roman numeral 1. Construct triangle XYZ in which XY is 9 centimeters, YZ is 7 centimeters, and angle XYZ is 38 degrees. So I always encourage people that before you start, try to do a sketch. Right? So we are saying you do a sketch. We know we are dealing with a triangle, so you can draw any polygon with the 3 sides. Okay. Any polygon with the 3 sides. You say maybe this is x, this is y, and this is z. Okay. Then being told that xy is 9 centimeters, right? YZ is 7 centimeters. Then angle XYZ is 38. This angle should be 38 degrees. So we begin to follow that now when constructing. So the first thing is we measure the base. Alright, our base is 9. Okay, so we're going to measure 9. So we say 9 is here, from here up to here. Okay, that is 9. You're supposed to use a pencil in an exam. It's better that way. So we have got the X, Y. Alright, and this is 9 centimeters. Okay, so the next thing that we can do is to measure an angle which is 38 degrees. Okay, so we'll use the protractor here. Look at the way I'm putting it. This point, it should be at the point Y here. So I'll do that, then adjust it like that. Start reading from the 0 mark. So I've got 0, 10, 20, 30. This is 40. Alright, so this 39, 38 should be here. That's where 38 is. Then you look at the distance from Y to Z. What is the distance? 7. Okay, so you get your compass and the ruler. Measure 7 from this point. You extend your compass to 7. Okay, here. Then hold the compass and let Y be your center. Okay, so you create an arc here. It's enough. So it has gone beyond because it is moving. So can you redo it here? Okay, so that is the line here. This one. So what we are going to do now is to draw a line from this point passing through this point for 38 degrees all the way to the arc. So this is what we are talking about. Okay, so you draw all the way up to here. So this point is the Z. Okay, then automatically you just draw this line from Z to X. From Z to X. Okay, we know that this angle should be 38 degrees. And this height, it is 70 centimeters. So you can even write to say A1, it is triangle XYZ. Alright, A2, what is the Roman numeral 2? You need to copy the questions like I said, then you begin to follow them together. Measure and write down the length of YZ. Alright, so you get your ruler and you measure it. Okay, so from here when you check here the reading, you have got 5.6. So XZ is 5.6 centimeters. So even if you measure 5.5, I think it should still be fine. Okay, so that's that. Then we go to the second one, part B. On your diagram and within triangle XYZ, construct the locus of points which are 6 centimeters from Y. So we are going to measure 6 centimeters. Okay, 6 centimeters, like that. Go to Y and create an arc inside. Just this. Okay, take note. It's supposed to be an arc. I hope we are able to see the line here. Okay, this is where the line is passing here, or the arc. Okay, so you do that. This. So it has to be inside, and that's your answer. You are going to say this is B Roman numeral 1. Then you go to B Roman numeral 2, equidistance from xz and xy. Here, xz and xy means you go for what is common, which is x, and bisect angle x. Okay, in this case, this is the angle here. So we bisect angle x. So you open your compass to any radius of your choice. So you create an arc, then you move here at the point of intersection, create an arc, come here, create an arc. So the two arcs are intersecting here. So you draw a line from x passing through the point all the way up to the other end of the triangle. Okay. And this one is B Roman numeral 2. Okay, now let's read it together. Now look, when you bisect an angle, it means as you move from the angle coming down, you're approaching xy. As you move from this line going this side, you're approaching xz. You're moving nearer to xz. Here, you're moving nearer to xy. Okay, so let's look at the question. Mark clearly with the letter P within triangle XYZ a point which is 6 centimeters from Y. So what is 6 centimeters from Y? It is this arc. Alright? And equidistant from XZ and XY. Which one is equidistant from XZ and XY? It is this line. So where this line, this arc and the line are meeting, here at the point of intersection, that is where our P should be. Okay? Then a point within triangle XYZ is such that its distance from Y is less than or equal to 6 centimeters. Right? Means that the distance from here to Y, from here, from Y to this, should be 6 or less. So this point T should be here, from here to there, because from here to there it is 6 or less, not greater. So it must be from the arc coming down. Alright, and it is nearer to xz. So when you're moving from this line, xz, it means you're going this side. Alright, you're coming here. Here it means you're approaching xy. So it must be nearer to xz than xy, meaning that it must be this side. But again, less or equal to 6 centimeters. So this is our area, this one. Okay? Okay, so that's where your T should be. Okay, and we are done with that question. We go to the next question. Okay, this is question 5. So you can copy it, pause the video and copy. Okay, you can even attempt and compare with what we are going to find. A, we are saying, let's simplify this. Okay, so A, we want to simplify B minus A over A squared minus B squared. Alright, so we are going to say this is equal to a B minus A over, you know that this is the difference of two squares. You can say A minus B, A plus what? B. Okay, but now when you check here, the essence of us having this is where possible we can find a common factor and divide. So what we can do, we can pull out a negative here, 1. Once you pull out, this becomes positive and this becomes minus. So we have got positive A minus B over A minus B, A plus C, B. Alright? What do we get? This and this cancels. So we have negative 1 over A plus C, B. That one is your answer. Take note, sometimes others will discourage you from writing this manner, the horizontal, but you bring it down. But it's one and the same. Alright? So we go to B. Okay, B, we are saying the first 3 terms of a GP are K plus 4, K, 2K minus 15, where K is a positive constant. Let's find K. So, Roman numeral 1, we have got these terms, K plus 4, K, 2K minus 15. Okay? So now, how do we find k? We use the concept of common ratio. We know that when I divide k divided by k plus 4, the answer should be equal to 2k minus 15 divided by k. This divided by that should be equal to this divided by that. We cross multiply, alright? So we are going to say k squared is equal to this times that, alright? So you say k plus 4 times 2k minus 15. Okay? So k squared is equal to k times 2k is 2k squared minus, take note this is minus, k times 15 is 15k. Okay? 4 by 2 have plus 80k minus this by that is 60. Okay? So now you can group the like terms, or you say k squared is equal to 2k squared. Alright? Then you are going to say, what is the 15k plus 8k? Alright? You get 7k. So you have got plus 7k minus 60. Right? Okay, so please take note, this is minus and this is minus 7. Alright, so we can group the like terms or we rearrange. So we have k squared minus 2k squared plus 7k plus, when it goes the other side, 60, the answer is a 0 here. Alright? So now, what is k squared minus 2k squared? Negative k squared plus 7k plus 60. The answer is what? Is 0. So here you can solve this using any quadratic formula or any formula that you can use to solve a quadratic equation. So we'll go for the product. Product will be negative 60. Our sum will be b, which is 7. Now what are the factors? The factors. Two numbers you multiply, they'll give you negative 60, and when you add, you get 7. So you have negative 5 and 12. Alright? Now because there is k throughout, you distribute k here. Meaning that you say negative k squared minus 5k plus, this is positive, 12k plus 60. The answer is what? 0. Okay? So we say, here we group the terms, factorize. So negative k, open bracket, k plus 5 plus, what is common here is 12. K plus what? 5 is equal to 0. Alright? So here you have got k plus 5. Then here is 12 minus k is equal to 0. Now here we've been told that this k must be what? Positive. So when you look at this one, if you say k plus 5 is equal to 0, then k will be negative. Okay? Meaning that the value that we are going to get is this one. So you say 12 minus k is equal to 0. Meaning that 12 is equal to k. Okay? Or k is equal to 12. So that is the value of k. So it had how many marks? 3 marks. Okay, k is 3. Okay, then we go to Roman numeral 2. What is Roman numeral 2? List the first 3 terms of the progression. So the first 2 terms are, what is k? K is 12. So say 12 plus 4, comma 12, comma 2 times 12 minus 15. Alright? That is the answer there. We can just maybe write the final answer. You know that this is equal to 16 plus or comma, this is 12. This is the 12 by 2 by 12, 24. 24 minus 15, you have got the 9. So these are the first 3 terms, and this is our answer. Okay? We go to Roman numeral 3. What is Roman numeral 3? Calculate the sum to infinity. Now, don't need to worry, the formula is given here. This is the formula for the sum to infinity. Alright, so we are saying sum to infinity is equal to A over 1 minus R. For the absolute value of R should be less than what? 1. Otherwise, if it is greater than 1, then you not find the sum to infinity because it will be expanding. Alright, so it has to reduce. Okay, so we are saying the sum to infinity is equal to, what is our first term? Our first term is 16. Alright? Divided by 1 minus, what is our common ratio? Our common ratio is found by saying 12 divided by 16. 12 divided by what? 16. Okay. So here, you can say, this is the sum to infinity is equal to 16 divided by, you can use your calculator here, alright? You say 1 minus, open the bracket, 12, this symbol here, alright? Divided by 16. What do we get? We get 1 over 4, alright? So I've got 1 over 4. You say this is equal to, again you say 16 divided by 1 divided by 4. Alright? What do you get? The answer is 64. That is your answer. Okay, then you are done with question 5. Okay, we go to the next question, which is question 6. Alright? Okay, so this is the question. So pause the video, copy it. Try to attempt and compare with what you're going to get. Alright? So we are saying in the quadrilateral ABCD below, AB is A, AD is B. Alright? BC is 2B. AE, A to E, right, is 1. So here, it's like they're telling that it is 1 in terms of a ratio. But from A to C, it is 3. So you're going to say, what is 3 minus 1? 2. Means that from E to C, it is 2. Okay? So now, we are saying, find in terms of A and OB, AE. AE. Okay? Now, AE. You can't say A, B, B, C because your interest is AE. So, AE is on AC. So, to find AE, we need to know AC. Alright? So, we are saying this is the 6. 6A1. So, we are saying AE is equal to, alright, 1 over 3. 1 over 3 of what? AC. Well, this is 1, but from there to there it is 3. What is AC? So we are going to say, to find the AC, you move from A to B. B to what? C. So you're going to say AB plus BC. What is AB? Is A. So here I've got A plus BC is 2B. Meaning that our AE shall be equal to 1 over 3 of A plus 2B. This one is your answer. Alright, if you want, you can distribute. Okay. Take note, this is A. You go to B. What is B? Let's find the BE from B to E. So move from B to A to E. So we'll say we are going to move from BE. We shall move from B to A, B to A plus A to E. Alright, so BE is equal to, what is BA? B to A, it's negative. You are going against the direction, so it will be negative A plus. What is AE? AE is here, all right? So you can multiply here and say, this is 1 over 3A plus 2 over 3B when you multiply this here, all right? So BE, take note, you can say over 1 here. What is the denominator here? It is 3. 3 times A, negative 3A, plus 1 times A to be A plus 2 over 3B. So BE is equal to, what is negative 3A plus A? Negative 2 over 3, you can put A here, plus 2 over 3B. This is the answer, all right? Then we go to C. What is C? C, we want to find from B to what? D. So we say BAAD. All right, say BD is equal to BA plus AD. BA plus AD. All right, so we'll say BD is equal to, what is BA? It's negative A. Negative A plus, what is it? AD? It's B. And this is your answer. All right? Then Roman numeral 2. Hence or otherwise show that the points B, E, and D are collinear. Collinear means they lie on a straight line. We are saying if we were to plot them, can they lie in a single line like this one, maybe? All right? Not just by joining like I'm doing. You need to show it mathematically, not by what we call counter methods, no. All right? So, we are saying, for me to show that B, D, and E lie on a straight line, I must be able to prove something. What is it that we are going to prove? You can say, how can I get, for example, this vector BD? Can I find this BD by multiplying a certain number by BE, for example? If that holds, then we conclude that they are collinear. So we are saying, if BD, if I can get BD, B to D, by multiplying a certain number, a scalar, K, or you can use any other, by BE, if this holds, then B, E, and D are collinear. Alright? If this works, then we'll say they are collinear. If I can find this vector by multiplying a scalar by this smaller vector, alright, then the points are collinear, especially if there is a common point, which is B. Alright, you can express it in another way. Okay? Then we'll say, okay, in this case, what is BD? I'll say, what is my BD? BD is negative A plus B is equal to K. Here, we need to find K. We need to check if there exists a what? A K. Okay, so what is our BE? It's negative 2 over 3A plus 2 over 3B. So here, the struggle is to find K, all right? If K will be found, then we'll conclude that the points are collinear. All right, so we are going to say negative A is equal to, you multiply this. So you have negative 2 over 3 KA, and you equate this part B. B is equal to, you multiply this by that, so you have got 2 KB over 3. Let's work out and see if we'll be able to get K. Alright, so what you can do here, you can multiply 3 here and 3 there. So it will be 3, negative 3A. The moment I multiply 3 the other side, I will remain with negative 2 KA. Alright, our interest is to get K, so I'll divide by negative 2A by negative 2A. This and this will cancel. So K will be equal to A and A will cancel. Negative and negative will be positive 3 over 2. Alright, and we check here. Again, here you multiply by 3. So you have got 3B. then the 3 goes here. You have 2kb. But you want to find k, so you say 2b, even here 2b. Alright, mean that k will be equal to this and that will cancel, this and this one will cancel. These two cancel, you have got 3 over what? 2. So there exists what? K. Alright? This simply means, this implies that we can find BD by saying 3 over 2 times BE. Alright? So this one holds. Alright? We are able to find that. We are able to find BD by multiplying that. Hence, shown or verified that indeed the points B, E, and D are collinear, meaning they lie on a straight line. If we were not able to find the K, we would have concluded to say, okay, the points are not collinear. Okay, and that's where we end for this one. We go to the next question. Okay, let's look at B. The program below is given in pseudocode. Start, enter X, Y, so on and so forth. Right? The question is draw the corresponding flowchart for the information given above. So we need to draw the flowchart. So for you to be able to draw the flowchart, you need to appreciate those flowchart symbols. All right. So here, the first thing that we are saying flowchart. Right. So the first word here is start. So where do we write this? We'll write this in an oval and say start. Okay. Then you bring an arrow here. Okay. What is the next word? Enter X and Y. Where do you write this word enter? In a parallelogram. So you bring down your parallelogram. Okay. So please, these things are very interesting. You need to enjoy them as you solve. Right? So you say here, bring a program for entering. So say enter X, comma, Y. All right? What is the next stage? Let M is equal to this. So here at this process, you are calculating the value of M. So to calculate the process, we use a processor or a rectangle. So you bring down your arrow and bring a rectangle here. Okay, and bring a rectangle here. So we are saying M is equal to okay, M is equal to square root of X squared. So you write the way it is plus Y squared. Okay, so then extend your line, please. Let your diagrams, your symbols look very beautiful. All right, so you don't waste time when you beautifying. There are no marks for beautifying. Okay, so we go that way. Then the next one is if M now, after checking, after finding the value of M, if M is less than 0, if here is a condition, as long as you see if, all right, then you bring in a diamond, which is a decision, right? So bring in a diamond. All right. So you say, instead of saying if, you say is M less than 0. You expect two answers, yes or no. Right? So we are saying if M is less than 0, display. If yes, M is less than 0, display error message. M must be positive. Else you come here. Alright? So if it is yes, that M is less than 0, we display, this is no. We display error message. For displaying again, you use a parallelogram. Okay. Okay, so this is not there, take note. So we are saying display error message. So we say display error message. Alright, then M must be positive. Alright, now if not, that is the else, and if display M. So just come and display M. Okay, to display again we use a parallelogram. Okay, so we say display, okay, display M. All right, okay, then what should happen? We stop. Okay, so you bring an arrow. Please make these arrows as beautiful as you can. So you say stop, then the job is done and you get all your 5 marks there. Okay, that's where we end with the question 6. Okay, let's deal with the question 7, which is in section B. So in this section, you need to answer 4 questions out of the possible 6. All right. So question 7A, we are saying answer this part of the question on a sheet of graph paper. So you need to use a graph paper. All right. Okay. So the question reads: the values of x and y are connected by the equation y is equal to x squared to x to the power 3 minus 3x squared plus 5. Some corresponding values of x and y are given in the table below. Okay. So Roman numeral 1, calculate the value of p. Now before you go to Roman numeral 1, go to Roman numeral 2 and come up with a Cartesian plane. All right. So using a scale of 4 centimeters to represent 1 unit on the x-axis. For negative 2 is less than or equal to x up to 2, and 2 centimeters represent 5 units on the y-axis. For negative 25 is less or equal to y is less or equal to 10. Let's draw the graph of this one. Okay. So, because when you look at the x-axis, you have negative 2 and the 2. Meaning that you can divide the graph paper into 2 equal parts. Alright? So, okay, so if you look at the number of lines here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So divide by 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright? So that here you have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we'll do a line. You need to use a pencil. Okay, me, I'm an expert, that's why I'm using this. Okay, and that is just when I write a note anyway. But the main reason is that you should be able to see. Okay, should be able to see what we are doing. Okay. Then when you look at the y-axis, it is 2 to 5. For 10, it means you need 2 lines. Here you need 5 lines coming down. Okay, so we can even say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 here. It's fine. Okay, so this is the x-axis, right? And this is the y-axis. So we are told that for x is 4 centimeters represent 1. When you measure here, when you measure with your ruler, from here, that is 4. So it's like from here there, if you start from 0, this is 4 centimeters should be 1. And another 4 here, it should be 2, meaning that this is will be 0.5, this is a 1.5. Okay, then here it is 0.5. Of course, these are negative. 1.5. This is 2. Right? Y-axis is 2 to 5. So we'll say 5. This is 10. Okay, here we have negative 5, negative 10, negative 15, negative 20. We go all the way to negative 25. Then we begin to plot. Actually, before we plot, now we can do our Roman numeral 1. Okay, so this is the A Roman numeral 1. We find the value of B. So how do you get the value of B? You look at the value of x, which is negative 2. So P falls under the y coordinate. So here where there is y, we put P. But where there is x, we put negative 2. Alright, so we are going to say we have got y is equal to 2x to the power 3 minus 3x squared plus 5. So we say our P is equal to 2, open the bracket, negative 2 to the power 3 minus 3, negative 2 to the power 2 plus 5. What is the answer? Here you don't need to struggle, you can get your calculator. Okay, you can say 2, open the bracket, negative 2 close the power 3. Alright, minus 3, open the bracket, negative 2 to the power 2 plus 5. What do you get? Negative 23. So this is negative 23 is our answer. Okay, then Roman numeral 2. It is this one where you're supposed to draw the graph. So you can just say refer to the graph of y is equal to 2x to the power 3 minus 3x squared plus 5, the one that we are going to draw. Okay, so now we are going to draw. What are the coordinates? Negative 2, comma, negative 23. Well, this is negative 23. So, take note this is negative. Alright? So, we are going to say x is negative 2, y is 23. Alright, so this is 20 and this is 25, meaning that each is a 0.5. So, we have 21, 22, 23 here. Alright, so we put a dot. And the next one is negative 1.5, comma negative 8.5. Okay. Negative 1.5, comma negative 8.5. This is 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5 here. Okay. Then we have negative 1, comma 0, which is this one. We go to negative 0.5, comma 4. Okay, this is negative 0.5. So 0.11, 1.12, 2.3. Okay, 0.51. Okay, 1.52, 2.53, 3.54. So 4 is here. Okay, the next one is 0.5. X is 0, y is 5 at this point. Then you go to 0.5, 4.5. 0.5, 4.5. 4.5 is here. Okay. Then 1.4. 1.4 is this one. Okay. 1.5, 5. 1.5, 5 is this. Then we have got 2,9. 2,9 here. So this is the kind of a graph that we are supposed to draw. Okay? That's the kind of a graph we're supposed to draw. Okay, take note, these points are not correct, these 2 points. It's not supposed to be negative, but this should be positive values from here. It's positive, so I've got 0, 5, 0.5, 4.5. So 0.5, 4.5 is this one. So ignore this. Then we have 1,4. 1,4, this one. Then there is 1.5, 5, which is this one. So now this is it. These are not there. So this is the curve that we are supposed to draw. So from here, you draw all the way, then come down. Alright? So you are going to move from here all the way, you come down here. Okay, that is the kind of graph you are supposed to put up. Okay, then you name this as y is equal to 2x to the power 3 minus 3x squared plus 5. Then we are done there. We go to Roman numeral 2, Roman numeral 3. Okay, Roman numeral 3. Use your graph to solve the equation 2x to the power 3 minus 3x squared plus 5 is equal to what? X. So now, here what you do is you compare this equation to this one. You check if it's the same. You have got 2x to the power 3, you have 2x to the power 3. Minus 3x squared minus 3x squared plus 5. So this and this one, they're exactly the same. But this is y. So meaning the whole lot of this one is y. So you're going to say y is equal to x. Alright, so that is not the answer. We need to draw this line. Y is equal to what? X. Okay? So now what do? You can do a table of values. Alright? You say what x and y? What if x is negative 1? What is y? If x is negative 1, y will be negative 1. If x is 2, alright? If x will be 2, y will be 2. Then you use this to plot. X is negative 1, y is negative 1. So x is negative 1 here, y is negative, so 0.5, 1. So negative 1 is somewhere here. Okay? Then x is 2, y is 2. X here is 2. So 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2. So take note of these 2 points. This one and this. Get a ruler and join. Okay? Okay, so you join your ruler, you get this point and that one. Can you draw a line? Okay, so you're going to name this line as y is equal to x. Now, where do we find the solution? It is where this line and the curve are meeting here. Alright? Where this curve and the line are meeting, they are meeting here. Alright? So this is negative 1. This is so this will be 0.5. So this is negative 1.5. So x is equal to negative 1.5 because this is 1. They are meeting here. When you take here, from there to there is a 0.5. So 1 plus 0.5 is negative 1.5. Alright, that is our x there. Okay, then we go to Roman numeral 4. Okay, calculate an estimate of the gradient of the curve at the point where x is negative what? 1.5. Where is x is negative 1.5 at this point? Now, take note, we have not been told to draw a tangent. If we are told to draw the tangent, we would have drawn. But here they want the gradient. So we can just differentiate this. So say y is equal to x to the power 3 minus 3x squared plus 5. 5. All right, so we'll say dy dx is equal to this by that 6x squared, because you multiply on less 1. This by that will be negative 6x. This goes. All right, but x is 1.5, so we substitute here. So we'll say dy dx is equal to 6 open bracket 1.5 to the power 2 minus 6 open the bracket 1.5. Then get your calculator. Okay, get your calculator here. You're going to say 6 open the bracket 1.5 squared minus 6 open the bracket 1.5 close. What do we get? 4.5. 4.5 is our answer. So 4.5. Therefore, gradient is equal to 4.5. That is your answer. And this concludes the part 1 of the question, part A. Part B is supposed to be answered on the answer booklet, not on the graph paper. All right. Okay, B. Express those fractions as a single fraction in its lowest terms. All right, so we have 3 over x plus 1 minus 2 over 2 over x minus 1. So we are going to say, to get the denominator here by picking this x plus 1, x minus 1. You cross multiply 3 open bracket x minus 1, then I get minus 2 open bracket x plus 1. This is equal to 3 by x, 3x. 3 by negative 1, negative 3. Negative 2 by x, negative 2x. Negative 2 by 1, negative 2. You divide this by x plus 1, x minus 1. So this is equal to, we group the right terms. This has x and that is x. So 3x minus 2x. This is just a number and this is also a number. So negative 3 minus 2. Look, the signs have not changed because there is no equal sign in between. So x plus 1, x minus 1. This is equal to 3x minus 2x, it is x. Alright? Negative 3 minus 2, it is negative 5. Divided by x plus 1, x minus 1. This is the answer. Or you can say x minus 5, take note, over, since this is like a difference of 2 squared, you can say x squared minus 1. Alright? This. Please take note, if you are comfortable, this is 100% correct. 100% correct here. Okay. Alright? So, this brings us to the end of question 7. Okay, so this is question 8. Pause the video, copy the question. Alright, so the question reads, in the diagram below, K, N, B, and R are places on horizontal surface. Kn is 80 meters, NB is 50 meters. Alright, angle KNR is 60 degrees, and angle KRN is 52 degrees, as we are able to see. Okay. So A, calculate KR. Okay, so here we have 50 meters. Right, so what we want to do is to get A. We want to get the KR, this one. So what you do for now, you can ignore this line, okay? We know that this is the small letter R, and this is N, okay? The whole lot of this one from there to be K, all right? Now, if I want to find this angle, this side given this angle. All right, then we're going to apply the cosine and the sine law. All right, in this case I'll say n, okay, over sine n, the answer should be equal to r. I can't use k because I don't have a full side and the angle. Of course, you might get the angle. Okay, so we're going to say r divided by sine r. So what is my n? My n is kr, which I'm looking for. So I'll say kr over sine 60 degrees. This is equal to r, which is 80 meters, divided by sine 52. Okay, now we are going to multiply this and that, meaning that kr is equal to sine 60 degrees times 80 meters divided by sine 52. Okay, and this will be your answer. So how do you get that one? Just punch on your calculator. Okay, just punch on your calculator. Okay, so we are going to say sine 60 degrees times 80 meters. What do we get? It's equals, that's the answer. Divided by, we can even say open bracket, sine 52, you close. What do you get? This is the answer, all right? So kr is 87.920160970. This will be in meters, but we give our answer correct to 3 decimal places. I'll say 1, 2, 3. You cut here and consider 2 as 0. 0 plus 9 is 9. So we've got 87.9 meters. This one is our answer. Then you get your how many marks? 4 marks. You see how simple it is. Okay. Then we go to B. Okay, you can, if I told you allow me to write B here, I'll say B. What is B? B, calculate the area of triangle KNB. KNB. Alright? This one, KNB. So we are using this angle, right? KNB. So this smaller triangle. So you have 80 here, and this side is what? 50. Here it is 60. So we are going to say area is equal to half times 80. These two sides that are forming the angle. Times 60 times sine. This is 50. Take note. Times sine. Times 60 degrees. Okay. So you say area is equal to, you get your calculator. Okay. And say 1 divided by 2 is equal to times 80 times 50 times sine 60. What is our answer? Okay, that's what we are going to get. So we have got 1732.05 0808 square meters. All right, but again, this one you round it off to 3 significant figures. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3. Cut here. Consider 2 as 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. So you have got 173. How many digits before a point? 1. We add 1 0. Square meters. This one is the answer. Okay. Then let's go to B. Okay. Because this was under Roman numeral 1. Roman numeral 1 has got A and B. So now we go to B. So you have got B here. Given that the area of the triangle KNR, now the bigger triangle, is this one. Like here is the shortest distance from R to KN. R to KN. Alright? We want to find the shortest distance from R here to KN. This one. So we'll create a 90 degrees. So this one becomes our height. Again, this is our base. Alright? So we have our base here, which is 80, and our height we are looking for is h. So we'll say our shortest distance is h is equal to 2a over b. This is equal to 2. What is our a? What is our area? Our area has been given now here to be 3,260 square meters. So I'll say 3,260 divided by, what is our b? Our b is our base here, which is 80. So I'll say 80. Okay, that is our base. So I'll say 2, open the bracket, 3,260 close. This is the answer, divided by 80. What do we get? So the answer is 81.5 square meters. That is our shortest distance, and we are done with the part. Take note, this is not necessarily part. This is Roman numeral 2. So this is Roman numeral 1. Roman numeral 1 has got A and B under A. So A has got Roman numeral 1, and Roman numeral 1 has got A and B. Then we go to, this one was Roman numeral 2. Okay, we can check here. A has got Roman numeral 1, which has got A and B, which is this one and this one. Then there's Roman numeral 2, which we have just solved. Then we are going to go to part B. Okay, what is B? Sketch the graph of y is equal to cos theta. Okay, y is equal to cos theta, right? For the range is 0 degrees is less or equal to theta, and this is less or equal to 360 degrees. Okay, so what we are going to do here is we'll do a diagram. Okay, can do a diagram. Okay, like that. So say maybe this is 1 and this is a negative 1. This is 0. Then we'll say we have 90 here, 180, 270, and 360. So 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 270 degrees, and 360 degrees. Of course, this is x, this represents y. So to make our job easy, we can even create some dotted lines here, which will act as our boundary. Right? Even here. Okay, so now to plot here, we'll be taking these values. We'll say our cos here, we'll consider this angle 0 degrees. We can even say, what is cos 0? It's a 1. So 0, 1, you come and plot here. Then you take 90. Say cos 90 degrees. What do you get? 0. So 0, 0. Then you take 180. Say cos 180. Negative 1. So this one will take you to negative 1 here. Okay. Then you say cos 270, you get a 0. So 270 here, 0. Then 360 will take you to 1. You can say 360. Okay, say cos 360 what do you get? 1. Okay, so this one will take you to 1. So take note of the point. You have this point, this point, this point, this point, and that point. Then you draw a line. Okay, you're going to draw, it's a graph, in fact, not a line. So something like that. Yeah, so this is the graph that you're supposed to draw. You even name this as y is equal to cos theta, and it's done. Okay, you get your 2 marks. Okay, then we go to C. C, we are taught to simplify. What are we simplifying? We are simplifying 12d n to the power 3 over 15c d to the power 3 divided by 9c to the power 3 n over 10c squared d squared. Alright? So the best way of dividing fractions is by multiplying them. So we introduce multiplication sign here and swap the fractions to get the reciprocal. So 12 d n to the power 3 over 15c d cubed times 10c squared d squared over 9c cubed n. Okay, what you can do is just multiply. You can multiply this. Better that you are in paper 2 and you're using the calculator. Okay, you can say 12 by 10. What do you get? 120. So here 120. All right, so you have d times this d, you have got d to the power 3. All right, then here you have got c to n to the power 3 c squared over, so better you have one thing, it will make your job easy while you have a calculator. Okay, so again you multiply 15 by 9. 15 by 9, what do you get? 135. So here you have 135. Okay, there's c and c, so you have c to the power 4 when you multiply them. Here you have got d to the power 3, d to the power 3. Alright, here there is n, you have n. Okay, so you say, alright, I reduce this half on a calculator. So 120, you've seen 120 here. Come and punch this symbol, divided by 135. 35, what do you get? It means on top here there is 8 here down. So here there is 8. Then here we have got what? 9. Alright? Then this 3, d to the power 3 and this one will cancel. Alright? Here 1, here there will be n to the power 2. Okay? Here 1, here there will be c to the power 2. So here you have got n to the power 2 divided by c to the power 2. Okay, and this is your answer. Alright? Okay. Okay, so this is the answer. See, it's much easier here. Especially when you're using a calculator, you multiply the number, then try to, unlike reducing, maybe you can do that approach in paper 1 because you might have a challenge to multiply and divide. Okay, let's go to the next question. This is question 9. Let's copy question 9, pause the video and copy. Okay. So the question reads, the frequency table below shows the distribution of marks obtained by 90 learners on a test. You have marks here and frequency. 0 to 20, there are 2. 20 to 30, you have got 10. Up to the end here. Calculate the standard deviation. Now, you can see that this part is not supposed to be put on a graph paper, but in your answer booklet. Alright? But part B. So how do we get standard deviation? There are a lot of methods. You can calculate direct or use a table. So in this presentation, I'll just calculate direct. If you want to see how you can use a table, you can just go to one of our videos on statistics, go to standard deviation. We are using a table there. Alright? Okay. Okay, so we are going to say standard deviation, which is SD, is equal to the square root of sum of f times x minus x bar squared over sum of the frequency, where x bar is given as sum of f of x over sum of f, and x is the midpoint point of each class or class interval. Alright, so the first thing that we need to do is to find the midpoint of each class interval. In this case, which class interval are we talking about? We are talking about this class interval. Alright, so here from 10 to 20, what is the class interval? So we are going to say 10 plus 20, the answer is 30, divided by 2. What do you get? It means here there is 15. Okay, then you come here, 20 plus 30 is equal to 50, divided by 2, 25. So you can see that it is increasing by 10. The next one is 30. 30 plus 40, 70 divided by 2, you have 35. Alright, you have 35. So here to be 45, here to be 55, and here to be 65. But sometimes you need to be careful. The interval tends to change. Okay, so now the starting point is you need to find the mean, right? Which you are calling the x bar. This is the mean. So you're going to say x bar is summation of frequency. What is our frequency here? It is 2. So I'll say 2 times 15 plus 10 times 25 plus 15 times 35 plus 23 times 45 plus 30 times 55 plus 10 times 65. Everything here you divided by the frequency. When you add this, you arrive at 90. If 90 was not given, you are supposed to add. You have got 90, right? Okay, what do you get? So you can do that. You say 2 open bracket 15 plus 10 open bracket 25 plus 15 open bracket 35 plus I think it's 23 open the bracket 45 plus 30 open the bracket 55 plus 10 open the bracket 65. What is the answer? You have got this one. Alright, 4,140 divided by 90. What do you get? 46. Alright, so it means our x bar here is equal to 46. We have found this one. Okay, then now we go to the formula for standard deviation. You say standard deviation is equal to, you can put this square root. Don't be worried about the line, it's just a line. Alright, frequency. Here, these are frequencies. So that is our frequency, and these are midpoint. So what you'll be saying is 2, open the bracket, 15 minus 46 throughout, plus 10, open the bracket, 25 minus 46 squared, plus 15, open the bracket, 35 minus 46 to the power 2, plus 23, open the bracket, 45 minus 46 to the power 2, plus go to 30, open the bracket, 55 minus 46 you square, plus 10, open the bracket, 65 minus 46 you square. Everything here will divide by what? 90. If you want, you can even put these in brackets. Okay, then you're going to say my SD is equal to the square root of what? You get your calculator, punch the way these things are. You say 2, open bracket, 15 minus 46 close power 2, plus the next one is 10, open the bracket, 25 minus 46 close power 2. The next one is plus 15, Alright, open the bracket. 35 minus 46 close power 2. The next one is 23 plus 23, open the bracket. 45 minus 46 close power 2. The next one is 30, open the bracket. 55 minus 46 close power 2. The next one is 10. Alright, the next one is 10. So I'll say 10, open the bracket. 65 minus 46 close power 2. That is your answer. Then you say equals. Alright, so when you say equals, this is what you get, isn't it? Alright, so the same answer here, divided by 90, divided by 90. What do you get? You have got 157.88246. 88889. You don't need to panic. Alright? Direct here, just punch the square root. So this is your answer. 12.5653845. So standard deviation is equal to, give it to three significant figures. 1, 2, 3. You cut here and consider this one as 1. 1 plus that, 6. So 12.6 is your standard deviation. Okay, so that is our answer. Okay, so if you want to use the table, you can go to our videos we presented on how to use a table. Okay, let's go to part B. Okay, let's look at B. They are saying, answer this part of a question on a sheet of graph paper. 1, copy and complete the relative cumulative frequency table below. Alright, so you must copy this on your graph paper and complete it, filling in the blank spaces. Alright, so this is what we are going to, this is what we have. Okay, so how do we complete it? So how are they getting it? You divide this by the last number, the cumulative frequency by the total. So if you say 0 divided by 90, that's why you're getting a 0 here, alright? The next one you can try 2. 2 divided by 90, you're getting this, and you round it off to 2 decimal places where possible. Alright? Then 12 divided by 90, you're getting that, which is this. Alright? 27 divided by 90, what do we get? 27 divided by 90, we are getting 0.5 flat. The next one is what? 50. 50 divided by 90, you get 0.56, 2 decimal places. Alright? Then the next one is 80 divided by 90. What are you getting? 0.89. 0.89. Alright? The next one is 90 divided by 90 is a 1 or 1.0 or 1.00. Okay? Then you get your 1 mark there. Okay, the next question is, using a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 10 units on the x-axis from 0 to 70, 2 centimeters to represent a 0.1 on the y-axis from 0 to 1, draw a relative cumulative frequency curve. Alright? So, we can put up our line here. Alright. We put up our line. Okay. Maybe another one here. We draw the x-axis. Okay, so here you are going to say x, and this side it is y. Now, what do you plot on the x-axis? The x-axis is the max, so we are going to say max. Alright, this side. Then, here it is the relative cumulative frequency. That's what you write here. It's a relative cumulative frequency. Alright, going this side. Okay. Now, on the x-axis, it's 2 to 10. So I've got okay. Take note, I've cancelled this line. I've drawn it here. So my x-axis will be here because it may not be able to fit there. Alright, so this should be 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70 here. Alright, this line I've erased it. Alright, sorry for that, because it may not be able to fit here. So on the y-axis is a 0.5, 2 to represent 1.1. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, come all the way to 0.9, then 1.0. So you can see why I've changed, because I'd already drawn in advance. I would have gone somewhere here. That's why I had to bring down my line here, right? Initially I should have started from there. Okay, so now we begin to plot. What are we plotting? It's 10,0. So 10,0 is here. 20,0.2. So 20, just count two lines, 1, 2. That is where your 0.02 is. Okay? Then 30,0.13. 30, you count 13 lines just. From there to there, there are 10, these smaller ones. So I'll say 1, 2, 3. Then the next one is 40, 0.3. 0.3 is 30 lines, or you're able to see it. This one's very easy. So 40, 0.3, which is this one. Then 50, 0.56. That's what we have. 50, 0.56. This is 0.56. You say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright? Then 60, 0.89. 60 here you come, from 60 you come, you go to 0.8. 89 will be this one. Then 70,1. 70,1 will be this. So these are the points that you need to take note of. This one, and this one. So you need to draw a curve. Alright? So coming down. Okay, so from here it has to go like that. Make sure it's properly drawn. Okay? That you have. And that is your answer for Roman numeral 2. So you can say Roman numeral 2 refer to the cumulative frequency curve. Okay? Then we go to Roman numeral 3. Okay, Roman numeral 3. We're saying showing your method clearly, use your graph to estimate the 65th percentile. Now, we'll say Roman numeral 3 here. 65th percentile is equal to 65 over 100. Alright? Times the total relative cumulative frequency, which is a 1. So we'll say 1 is equal to, don't need to struggle, get your calculator. 65 divided by 100 times 1, you get the same one. 0.65. Now that is not your answer. You need to come to 0.65 here. Okay? On the y-axis. You can see that on the y-axis this is 0.6. So 0.65 will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So from there, you can come here and try to meet the graph. So if you were to follow this line, okay, you meet the graph at this point, then come down. Come down here. You check the value down here. Alright? So from there to there it is 10. It means each small box is 1. If this is 50, 51, 52. So meaning that the 65th percentile is equal to 52. Even if here you say this is equal to what? 52. Okay. That's the answer, 52. You can even emphasize say max. Even here, max. Then this is done. We are done with question 9. We got question 10. Question 10. Study the diagram below and answer the questions that follow. Okay, so with this diagram, this is on transformation. A. Take note. Okay, I hope now it's very clear. Okay. Okay, you can copy that question. Triangle, or maybe you copy all of them in advance. Okay, copy these questions. Then you can also draw these triangles in advance. Okay. So now we are saying A, triangle R, which is this one, is the image of triangle P under rotation. Find the coordinates of the center, angle, and the direction. So I've already been told that this is a rotation. So to find the angle or the center first, what you're going to do is you identify corresponding points. This one and this. Okay? Try to join them with maybe imaginary lines or dotted lines. Create a line. Then bisect this line. Okay? To bisect, you open your compass to more than half. So, okay, maybe this one. Okay? Okay, so you do that. Then you shift your compass to this point. Create an arc so that they intersect. And here, they are intersecting here. Take note, they are meeting here and at that point. So you draw a line. Alright, joining the points. So this is the point, this is the line that we are drawing now. Okay, take note of that line. Then identify another set, okay, of corresponding points. This and its image. So you can even do this one. Okay, so you're going to say, okay, I open my compass to more than half, which is I think this one. Then create an arc. So you know about the other arcs that we have created. Concentrate on what we are creating now. Then you shift your compass to this one. Alright. Okay. Make sure that it goes deeper so that it doesn't come out. So in my case, they are meeting here. Okay? But maybe this side it is not clear. Let me... Okay, I hope we are seeing the line that we are creating. Okay, then I can come here again so that I see where they will meet this side. So, here, they are meeting somewhere here. So when you look at this and this one, take note of this point. There is this point here where they are meeting and here. So you join. Okay? So when you join these 2 points, where are they meeting? This line and this one, they are meeting at the origin. Okay, it means that is our center. Now, how do you create an angle? You identify the image and the object and its image, which is this one. You join to the center. So you join this one to the center and this one to the center. And you can clearly see that from here to there it is 90 degrees. Or you measure. Okay? Meaning that from here coming like that, the angle is 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, if you are moving like that, or 270 and clockwise. Alright, so we are saying center, this is A. Center is 0, 0. Angle is 90 degrees. Direction is clockwise. Clockwise. It means we are done there. Okay? B. A single transformation maps triangle P onto M. Describe this transformation. P onto M. You can see that this has been enlarged. So it is an enlargement. But to describe an enlargement fully, you need a center of enlargement and the enlargement factor. So to get the center, we need to draw some lines. But I think because there are a lot of lines, you can allow me to erase some. Okay, I think that is better now. So to find the center of enlargement, you just join the corresponding sides. So like this one corresponds to that one, that is the image. Object and image, you join them. You'll see where it will take you. Okay? So when you join this one, okay, then another one, just one, just two are enough. One, you can do all of them. Okay, so you've got this point and this point. So you can see where the two lines are meeting. So the two lines are meeting at the center. It means the center is the origin. Alright? So you have the center, that is the origin. Okay, so I'm going to say for B, we are saying to describe it fully, we are saying it is the enlargement. Alright? Center 0, 0, or you can just say the origin. Then you go to scale factor or arrangement factor. How do you get the scale factor? You say image length divided by object length. Alright, so your scale factor will be, now in this case, you can look at this distance from here to there. So 8 minus 4, you have 4. So here it is 4. Then you go to the object, which is from there up to there, 2. Okay? So the answer is what? 2. Now what kind of a sign? Is it going to be positive or negative? The scale factor or arrangement factor should be positive. Why? Because the center is outside these two. So when the center is outside the object and the image, then the scale factor is positive. Okay, so we have described that one fully. C. Triangle P maps onto triangle V by a stretch. Okay. Find the matrix of this transformation. Okay. Okay, so we are saying P is mapped onto V by a stretch. Let's find the matrix. Now, the way we are going to find the matrix, we are going to use one simple method, but I will explain about two. So, when you multiply the matrix that we want, A, B, C, D, by the object. What is the object? This one. You can pick 2, 1. 2, 1. Then you can pick 4, 1. 4, 1, then you pick 2, 4. 2, 4. This should give you the image. What is our image? Our image is this one. Alright? This is our image. Okay? That is our image. So, what are the coordinates of the image? This one is negative 4, 1. Negative 4, 1. Alright? Then this one is negative 8, 1. Negative 8, 1. Then we have negative 4, 4. Negative 4, 4. So when you multiply, you can solve this. Okay? Or alternatively, you can say you multiply this by that, create an equation or equations. You solve them simultaneously. Okay, then you should be able to find this. Or you can say, from here, the values of y are not changing, meaning that y is the invariant line. Or you can use another method to confirm if at all this is the invariant line. Now, if I know that this is the invariant line, you can use a matrix. Alright? A matrix where y is the invariant line is K0, 0, 1. This matrix is the standard for a stretch where the invariant line is the y-axis. If the invariant line is the x-axis, what are you going to say? If the invariant line is the x-axis, you are going to say 1, 0, 0, k. This is for x-axis. Alright? So this is for the y-axis. The invariant line here is the, take note, y-axis. Alright? So now, we know that the invariant line is the y-axis. The only thing that we need to find is the what? The scale factor. And how are you going to do? You can just look at this number and this one. What is it? You can say, to find k, okay, I can just say, negative 4 divided by 2. What do I get? Negative 2. Alright? Or you can get the area of this one divided by the area of this one. That will be your stretch factor. But because you are pulling it this side, it will be negative. So, I know that my stretch factor is this one. Meaning that my matrix will be negative 2, 0, 0, 1. And this is your answer. Alternatively, you can say, let me multiply this by that, I equate to that. Create equations, create some simultaneous equations, solve them, then your answer will be this matrix. Okay? We can go to the next one. Okay? We go to D. Triangle P is mapped onto triangle S by a shear represented by the matrix. This one. Find the coordinates of S. Again, here I'll try to use the two methods. Okay, this is D. Let me create space for D. Okay, so allow me to write my D here. So to find the coordinates, if we already have the matrix 1, 0, negative 2, 1, we are going to multiply this by the coordinates of the image. What are the coordinates of the image? P has got these coordinates that we already selected. 2, 1, 4, 1, 2, and 4. Okay? So when we multiply, what do we get? Okay? When we multiply, what do we get? Right? Okay, so we are going to say 1 times 2 is 2. Plus, this times that is 0. So you can see that there will be 0. So we can just maintain the 2 here. Then 1 times that, 1 times 2 will be 2. Because of a 0, so ignore the numbers down. So 1 by 4 will be 4. 1 by 2, it will be 2. Okay? But for this one, there is no 0, so you have to multiply nicely. This by that is negative 4. Negative 4 plus 1. So you say negative 4 plus 1. This time that is 1. This negative 2 by 4 is negative 8. plus the 1 times 1 is the 1. Then negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Plus what? 1 by 4, you have got 4. This is the kind of matrix that we are going to have. Okay? Okay, so you have got 2. Negative 4 plus 1 is 3. Here you have 4. Negative 8 plus 1, it is what? Negative 7. Here I've got 2, 0. Alright? So these are the coordinates that we are going to have. 2, 3. You have 4, negative 7. Then 2, what? 0. Okay? These are the coordinates that we are going to have. 2, negative 3. You have got 2, 0. 4, negative 7. Okay? So those are the coordinates. Or I can show you another method, if at all you can appreciate it, by using this. Since they have told us to say, the kind of transformation is by a shear, and by this, it simply means that our invariant line is the y-axis, where this is. Because this negative 2 is along the coordinates of y, so the invariant line is the y-axis. Meaning that this triangle has to be mapped onto another one, maybe somewhere here, because the movement always have to be parallel to the invariant line. It can't go upwards because it is negative here, because the scale factor is negative, so the triangle has to come down. Now, what are you going to do? You look at the scale factor is negative what? 2. Alright, come to this point. You say, what is the distance of this point from the invariant line? It is 2. Okay? What is 2 times negative 2? Negative 4. So you count negative 4. We are saying this is negative 2. But the distance of this point from there is 2. 2 by 2 is negative 4. So I'll say 1, 2 here. Alright? 3. You have got 4 somewhere there. So you have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 somewhere here. Alright? So this is where this should be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That point. That is the first point. And once you check this, this is 2, negative 3. Which is one of these. Then you go to the next point. This one. What is the distance of this from this point from the invariant line? This is 2. 2 by the scale factor, which is negative 2, you get negative 4. So you're going to say from here, this is 2, 4. I'll go here. Okay? I hope you are seeing what we are doing. This is another way if you don't want to multiply. Then the next one is this point. What is the distance of this point from the invariant line? It is 4. What is 4 by negative 2? Negative 8. So I'll say this is 1, this is 3, this is 5, this is 7. So negative 8 somewhere here. I'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 somewhere here. So take note. If we were to draw, this is the kind of a triangle that we are going to have. Alright? If you were asked to draw, it's the kind of a triangle that you are going to have. 4. So you've seen that. So what are these coordinates? You can easily pick them. Maybe you can start with this one. This is 2, negative 3. 2, negative 3. Then maybe you start with this one. 2, 0. 2, 0. Then this one. This is 4, negative 7. 4, maybe write it 4, negative what? 7. Which is that. So you can use whichever method you are comfortable with. Alright? So that's how you do these things. These things are quite easy. Okay, we go to the next question. Okay, the next question is on linear programming. Pause the video, copy the question. Okay? Now, we are saying a hired bus is used to take learners and teachers on a trip. Right? The number of learners and teachers must not be more than 60. There must be at least 35 people on the bus. There must be at least 6 teachers on the trip. Alright, take note, this is trip. The number of teachers on the trip should not be more than 14. Now, let x be the number of learners and y be the number of teachers. All right? We've been told that x is the learners. That's the definition. And y is the teachers. Okay? All right? That's what we've been taught. Okay, so this information is very, very important. All right? Then write 4 inequalities which represent the information above. Now, before you attempt a, come here. Demarcate the graph paper, create the x or y plane, Cartesian plane, okay? So, we need to use a scale of 2 to 10 on both axes, that is both the x and y axis. For the x-axis, we start from 0 to 70. Y, again, we start from 0 to 70. Let's demarcate that. Okay, so maybe we put a line here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, even this one can suffice. Start from here. Please, these things are interesting. Let's enjoy them. If you are watching us for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends. Alright, we are trying by all means to help you people. Okay? Alright, so please subscribe and you can turn on the notification button so that each time we post a new video, you're able to see it and possibly watch. Okay, so back to business. So we are creating the Cartesian plane here. Alright, so we'll say this is 0 and this is the x-axis. Remember we said x represents the number of what? Learners, right? Y teachers. So here we say learners. Alright? You can put an arrow, you can even put with a ruler. Then we have been told that we start from 0 and the scale is 2 to 10. So meaning that from 0 the next should be 10, 20, then we have 30, 40, 50, 60, and we go to 70. Alright? Equally here, it's from 0 to 70. So we say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. This is the y-axis, and the y-axis represents the number of teachers on a trip. So we say teachers. Okay, it is this side. Okay, that's when now you can go to your question, the first part, which is the A. So we are saying x represents the number of learners and y number of teachers. So we are saying a hard bus is used to take learners and teachers on a trip. The number of learners and teachers must not be more than 60. Means that when we add the number of learners and teachers, it must not be more than 60. Not more than 60 means it must be less or equal to. So we say x plus y should be less or equal to what? 60. Okay, that is the first inequality. The second one, there must be at least 30 people or 35 people on the trip. Alright? At least 35 people. That is it when you add them all together. So x plus y again should be greater or equal to 35. At least means minimum. Okay? There must be at least 60 teachers, which later represent the number of teachers, y. So we'll say y should be greater or equal to 6. That is the third one. The fourth one, the number of teachers, which is y. Alright? Should not be more than 14. So it must be less or equal to what? 14. So these are our inequalities. We are done. Okay? Then B. Here, we are supposed to present these inequalities on the graph paper by shading the unwanted region. You can just say refer to the in graph, we say graph inequalities. Okay? Then we start graphing. The first one is x plus y is less or equal to 60. Now, this is the easiest. As long as there are no other coefficients, what you do is, it means they are telling you here, you put a mark at 60 and even here at 60. Then draw a line joining these. What kind of a line? A solid line, because they are bars. So all these will have solid lines because they are bars down. Alright? So I'll draw a line from this 60 to the other 60 there. You may not be able to see the point. Okay, so this is the case. Alright? Then you can name this as x plus y is equal to 60. This is an equation. So when naming, we use an equal sign. Now, what we want is less. When you look at this point, from here going there is 70. From here coming here, it is 50. 70 is greater than 50. Alright? So we want the less part. This one which is not needed will be cancelled. Alright? By shading, it's like we are getting rid of what we don't want. Alright? And leave what we want. Alright? Then the next one is x plus y is greater or equal to 35. Alright? Again, because there are no other coefficients, you only have 35. So it means you come to 35 here. This is 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 here. Even here you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have 35. So you join. Okay? You join, so you draw a line like that. Okay, so then you can name this as x plus y is equal to 35. So now you are going to say, okay, so we are interested in the greater part. So you leave the greater part and cancel what is not correct. So from here, going there it is 40. This is 30, so this is greater and that is less. So we cancel the less, we leave the greater. That's what we want. We want the greater part, so this one out. Alright? Then the next one is y is greater than or equal to 6. So the y-axis is this one. Okay? So from there to there, it is 10. 6, you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here. Alright, you can even count even this side so that you are safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you are going to draw a line connecting these 2 points. Alright? So you draw a line. Okay, so that's a case. You can also name this as y is equal to what? 6. But what is its inequality? Greater or equal to. So you leave the greater part. Alright? So from here, coming that side is greater. From here, coming down it is less. But this is 0. 0 is less than 10. So I will eliminate what is less. Alright? You eliminate what is not wanted. We remain with that. Then, there is another one. Y is less or equal to 14. Which one? Okay. So take note, this is 10. You're going to say 11, 12, 13, 14 here. Maybe you can even come this side and say 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Join these 2 points. Alright? Okay, so you can as well name this one as y is equal to 14. But what we want is less. Okay? The less part. So Okay, so we want the less part from here, from this inequality, like we were saying. Alright? So this is less and that is greater, so we eliminate the top part. Alright? The top part is eliminated. So I hope we are able to see what we've remained with. Okay? Let me, for the sake of you being able to see nicely, let me try to use this. So this is the part that we've remained with. Okay, that's the part that we've remained with. It is the required region, or feasible region. Okay? Then we are done with that one. Then we go to C. C. If the group has 25 learners, alright, what is the maximum number of teachers that must accompany them? Okay, so this is our C. Alright? 1. We are saying the group has got 25 learners, right? Alright? 25 learners. So 25 learners. So what you do in this case, just go to this axis for the learners. Identify where there's 25. This is 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 is here. Then, since we want to find the number of teachers, the maximum, right? So you need to move upwards. If they ask about the minimum, it would have been here. But we go to the maximum, which is this one. We meet this. Alright? You can't be here. Maximum is this one. Okay, so take notes here. Take note here. We are not talking about maximum but minimum number of teachers. Okay? So when we go to 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, the minimum will be this one. The minimum will be 10 when you check here. The minimum will be what? 10. If you are asked to talk about the maximum, it would have been 14 here. But the minimum here, because that's where we are meeting the feasible region first. So it is 14 teachers. Alright? So we have 10 teachers. That is the minimum. Okay? Then number 2. If 8 teachers can go on this trip, what is the maximum number of learners that can be accommodated on the bus? Alright? So here we want to talk about the maximum. And we are dealing with 80 teachers. Teachers, it is this side. Okay, you know from there to there it is 10. Meaning that this is 9. Okay, friends. And this is the 8. Alright? Now we are interested on the what? The maximum. So we'll come here, we'll follow this line. Not until we meet the feasible region. Alright? Hope we are seeing. If we move like that, we'll meet it here, that will be like the minimum, but it goes all the way up to here, up to this point. Alright? Now, when you come down here, you check here. This is 50, 51, 52 here. So it will be 52 here. Alright? We made it here, but coming down here, it will give us 52 learners. Alright? So 52 learners. Okay. Then D. What is D? If T, this one, so I've got T is equal to 30x plus 50y in kwacha paid by the whole group. If T is the amount in kwacha paid by the whole group, what is the cost per learner? If T is equal to this one, look, which letter represents the learners? X. It means the cost per learner is 30 kwacha. Alright? That's the answer. You don't need to stress. The cost per learner is what? 30, because that X represents the number of learners. So it means for D, this is the 30 kwacha. That's your answer. And this brings us to the end of question 11. Take note, this was question 11. We go to question 12 now. Okay. Okay, this is question 12. You can copy it. Alright, pause the video and copy. Let's look at the question A. The diagram below is the frustum of a rectangular pyramid with a base 14 centimeters long and 10 centimeters wide. Alright, the top of the frustum is 8 centimeters long and 4 centimeters wide. Given that the height of a frustum is 11.4, calculate its volume. Now, when you have got a frustum of a rectangular pyramid, to calculate the volume, we must make sure that the ratios are the same. Alright? Now, when you look at this one, if this is 4, that is 4. If this is 8, this is 8. Mean that 4 over 10, for example. Let's take the ratios first. Okay. 4 centimeters to, it corresponds to what? 10, right? 10 centimeters. This should be equal to the ratio for 8 to 14. 8 centimeters to 14 centimeters. Now, if this ratio is the same, then is this the same? Alright? If it is the same, then we can find the volume of a frustum. Then this is a frustum. It holds the properties of a frustum hold here. Alright? Now let's check. When you reduce this, what do you get? You have got 2 over 5. Here, when you reduce by using 2, you have got 4 over 7. These are not the same. These are not equal. Alright? These are not equal. Hence, we cannot conclude that for sure this is a frustum. Maybe the cutting wasn't done nicely. Alright? So, because of that, we cannot find the volume of this. Alright? We cannot find the volume of a frustum here. Okay? A frustum. By the common formula for finding the volume. Note, so what are we saying? The question wasn't crafted correctly. Okay? The question was not crafted, or we say drafted correctly. Why? Because these ratios do not hold. Hence, we cannot find the volume. But I'm sure when the pupils were writing, they had all those different answers. Okay? But looking at it from a professional point of view, we are unable to proceed because the ratios are different. Hence, we cannot find that one. Don't worry about it. Okay? It's not your problem. Okay? I think when preparing, I think some properties were ignored. That's not your problem. Don't worry. Don't say because it is ECZ. No, that's not your problem. The properties here do not hold. Hence, we can't find. Let's go to the next question. All right? Should not be troubled. Okay. Okay. Part B. The points A, B, and C are on the surface of the Earth. Use pi as 3.142 and radius 6370 kilometers. Right? So what I would encourage you is to try and draw this surface of the Earth. Okay? Maybe we say we have north, south. Okay? Okay, so take note. It has to be done nicely, please. Okay, I've got something like that. Then we have got north here and south, so we can come up with the 2 circles of longitudes. Okay. All right. So we have 15 degrees. And then here we have another one which is 35 degrees south. This is north. All right. Then we have got these longitudes. 40 degrees and 70 degrees. Okay, so meaning that this one should be 40 degrees east, then this one should be 70 degrees east. Now what is A? 15 north, 40 east. Alright, so 15 north, 40 east. So A is here. How about B? 35 west on this latitude, 75 degrees east. This one, this is the B. How about our C? 35 west, 40 east. So this is our C. So those are the points that we have, alright? It makes your job easy. Roman numeral 1. Calculate the distance AC from A to C. So you can see that A and C share the same longitude of 50 degrees east. So the formula is theta over 360 times 2 pi r. Alright? Okay, so say AC is equal to, now what is the theta? Theta is the difference in what? In latitudes. Okay, the difference in latitudes. Okay, so the latitude here is 15 and the latitude there is 35. So find the difference by adding them. 15 plus 35, we get 50. So you have 50 over 360 degrees times 2 times our pi is 3.142 times our radius 6370 k's. Alright, so AC is equal to, you just use a calculator here. Okay, no need of worrying. You say 50 divided by 360, what's the answer? That. Times 2 times 3.142 times 6370. This is our answer. Alright, so our answer, as you can see from the calculator, is 559.94. Then you have 444 kilometers. Okay. Now, we need to round off these to 3 significant figures. So what are we going to say? We're going to say 1, 2, 3. We cut here and consider 9 as 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. So you have got 6, 5, 5. But there is a digit before a point. So I'll add a 0. So this is our distance. Alright? Then Roman numeral 2. A. Okay. So we are saying an airplane takes off from point B and flies due west on the same latitude, covering a distance of 900 kilometers to a point Q. Alright, so this airplane takes off from B, alright, and flies due west, this side, covering a distance of what? 900 on the same latitude. Okay, to a point Q. A, calculate the difference in longitudes between B and Q. So, what are they saying? This plane flies from point B to a certain point Q, and the distance there is 900, right? Covered. What's the difference in longitudes? So, if we are looking at the distance on a circle of latitude, what's the formula? So we're going to say BQ is equal to theta over 360 times 2 pi r cos x. But the distance here is 900 kilometers. So I'll say 900 kilometers is equal to theta. Theta is the difference in longitudes, which they want you to find. Okay, so you say over 360 times 2 times 3.142 times 6370 times cos. The angle of latitude is 35, this one. Okay, so I'll say 35. Now, how do you work out this one? You are going to multiply this, you cross multiply this times this one divided by everything. So, you're going to say my theta is equal to 900 times 360 divided by these. 2 times 3.142 times 6370 times cos 35. What is our answer? Okay, you don't need to worry, use this. 900 times 360. What is our answer? That one. Divided by, open bracket, 2 times 3.142 times 6370 times cos 35 times cos 35. So this is what we are going to get as our answer. 9.88109061 degrees. Alright? But you need to give this answer correctly to one decimal place. So after a point, you count here. Consider 8 as 1. 1 plus 8 is 9. So 9.9 degrees is the difference in what? In longitudes. Alright? Okay, so B. B, what is B? Okay, what is B? Okay, let me write B here. What is B? Find the position of Q. No problem. So the first thing that we need to do is to find the longitude for point B. So what we are saying is that the difference in longitude between B and Q is 9.9. Alright, it is 9.9. Now, when you look at this this longitude is 70. Now, for the fact that the difference in longitude is less than this one, it means they are on the same sides. If the difference in longitude was greater than this one, would have said they are on different sides, so would have put it on the western. So it means this point is still on the eastern part. Okay? So now, how do we get it if they are on the same sides? We are going to say 70 minus the longitude where Q should be, answer should be 9.9. Okay? So we are going to say 70 minus the longitude for Q, which we don't know. The answer must be what? 9.9. Okay? Meaning that we are going to say 70 minus 9.9 is equal to X. This one becomes positive. Alright? So, what is 70 minus 9.9? 60.1. So X is 60.1 degrees. So this one will be east. It therefore means that, so it means that this Q should be in between here. Alright, so you might have this one, maybe Q this one. So this one is like 60.1 degrees east. So Q is here. Alright, so what is the position of Q? 35 degrees west and 60.1 degrees east. So therefore Q is 35 degrees south, comma 60.1 degrees east. That is the position of that point. Alright, so that's where we end for this presentation. Thank you so much. Please keep on subscribing and you turn on the notification button. Alright, thank you.